Today I'd like to talk to you about this painting by Caravaggio, The Conversion of St. Paul on the Way to Damascus. Or the subtitle of this painting could be, What to Do When Your World Turns Upside Down. And we know that it happens in every person's life. The first question I hear you asking is, how could this man teach us anything about what to do when our world is turned upside down? His whole world was always turned upside down because he had a violent streak. He fought duels, eventually killed an adversary, and eventually he was ordered to be arrested by the Pope and lived the rest of his life on the run. How could he teach us anything about what to do? Thank God, though, as God says to us through the prophet Isaiah, that his ways are not our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts. And so let's look at this painting now. And the next question is, earlier in the Acts of the Apostles, the story does not mention a horse. Why has Caravaggio made the horse the main character in the whole painting? Wonderful question. In order to answer this question, I want you to have a look at this painting of the Archduke Albrecht of Austria. Look at him on his horse, majestic, armored. He shows power, he shows strength, self-sufficiency. He is up there above, he can look down on anybody. He doesn't need anybody. Look at these two paintings together now. Can you see why Caravaggio has introduced the horse? The horse is the metaphor for power and strength. A few seconds before, Saul would have been sitting on top of this horse, and now his world has turned completely upside down. And Caravaggio shows us this in a most dramatic way. Look at it. Saul had the power and the authority as a zealous Pharisee to go out and wipe out this new sect of the followers of Christ in order to keep the purity of Judaism intact. And look at the reversal now. Where has his power? Where has his authority gone? He has no power. His mantle and his sword are lying there uselessly on the ground. His helmet has fallen off his head, making him totally vulnerable. The hoof of the horse is just hovering above him, dramatically ready to crush him. And the servant is holding back the horse, which is looking down on Paul as if to say, I could crush you if I wanted to. What happened to Saul, the man of great authority and power? All it took was a great flash of light and a voice calling out to him, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? And his whole world came crashing down. And dramatically Caravaggio has painted him on the ground with his arms raised, reaching out for the light, as if to want to embrace the light that he has just received. But there is more drama in Caravaggio's painting. Look, the whole body of Saul is moving out as if from the darkness, emerging from the darkness like a newborn from a mother's womb. Saul has experienced a new birth. That's why now he has a new name, Paul. He himself says this one in the letter to the Corinthians. He says that the risen Christ appeared to many people and to the 12. And then last of all, he appeared to him, as though I was born when no one expected it. And this is the message that this painting has for each one of us, the viewers. We can respond in times of crisis, either by cursing or by blessing. How, you may ask? When our world turns upside down, we can look at the situation as God offering us the gift of crisis. Crisis can become an opportunity to re-examine and reimagine our life, shaking off, letting go of what is useless in life and focusing on the purpose and mission that God has intended for each one of us. Did you notice how Caravaggio has painted him with his eyes still shut? Because Paul's journey is not finished yet. It will be Ananias will help him to open his eyes to understand the new mission that God has entrusted to Paul. Paul was a man with fire in his belly. He was single-minded. He was stubborn. He was quick-tempered, but he also had tenderness and he had commitment to the Jewish cause. What happened after his conversion? He's still the same person, really. Reading his letters and you'll find a man with fire in his belly. He's still single-minded. He's still stubborn. He's still quick-tempered. But he also has a tenderness and this incredible commitment to Christ's cause. What brought all this about? It was this personal encounter with Jesus Christ. Paul wanted to get his hands on Christ, that is, on the followers of Christ, the body of Christ. Instead, Christ got his hands on Paul, or better still, Christ took over Paul's heart. In his heart first there was I, and now in Paul's heart there is Christ. It is love that changes a person's focus. Be careful. If you stand in front of this painting in a prayerful, reverent way, it might happen to you too. It's a warning. The month of October is approaching, and so next week I'm going to look at another painting of Caravaggio, the Madonna of the Rosary. Thank you for watching. Bye now.